and then a wall chasing Deep Speed, 50 metres to go in front. They're coming at deep speed. Is it going to hold on? It will for Jamie Carr. A century of winners from the Car of the Year.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm in studio here with DK, the punter's punter.
Hello, Scoot.
Got the haircut.
Yeah, haircut, yeah, freshen up, yeah.
Pre-lockdown haircut.
We're off again, I think. We're off again. In my area too, those rotten removalers. Maribyrnong.
They mightn't have known they didn't. It's hard to know that you had it. It's that mild, COVID, for most people.
Oh, yeah, but they didn't do anything. The protocols. They weren't wearing masks. They just went here, there and everywhere, like just infect everyone.
I tell you what, if I'm moving someone's house, I'd struggle to breathe in a mask just quietly. It's heavy lifting. Like, I saw some footage of a girl running a 400. They made her run in the mask, and she's collapsed at the finish line. So it's not easy going. What about you, Nico? You've just got back on course, and whoops-a-daisy, we could be off-ski again.
Off. Yeah, so that's not ideal. Hopefully we can play on there. Tell you the one good thing about the mask in winter, when it's freezing cold, like it was yesterday at Sandown, it does protect the face a little bit. So that's probably the one positive there.
Everyone's Sandown or Ballarat, and it's come in handy.
Oh, yeah,
We've been saying it for many weeks that RV should get an essential workers pass, which is maybe a step down from their media accreditation, but nothing has changed in that space. And if we're still going to just bounce through this absolute garbage, we do need some sort of racing essential workers pass to get more people on track. To have 500 or 300 on at Sandown or Flemington, they got so much space. I just can't see why that won't work. And I guess the Spring Carnival has to be in some sort of crisis again. I don't know how the industry's going to survive another Spring Carnival gone with all the crowds. The race clubs would just be bleeding. I know I paid my MCC membership the other day, and they've given us a 30% discount, but they'd just be doing their lives. I feel for guys like Josh Blanksby, Michael Brown, and the guys.
And how can you plan?
Everyone.
How can you plan? Oh, what a Flemington's on? Oh, 60,000. I think Pakula said that's we're aiming for 60,000. How are they going now? If,
Cactus.
Some two pickles from Sydney removalists come down and infect the whole state. A week, 2 weeks before Melbourne Cup. Beauty. Seriously.
And what about you, Nico? You went to war with Ollie last Saturday. I gave you the big warning about how bad he's been going. He hasn't won since Zidler won at Cranbourne, so he's gone 11-0.
Didn't do much wrong on those things.
Nah, Think and Fly he was just poor, and Zapateo, she had every possible chance and just wasn't good enough. So he's a bit hit and miss at the moment, that's for sure, Ollie. It is the middle of winter though, so maybe leading into the spring months, he finds a bit of form.
I've got a sweet spot for him. I had a look at it. I had a look at the stats and all this, the punting form and whatnot, and had a look around. Yeah, I've got a sweet spot. You want to back Ollie if he's on a first starter at Geelong or Cranbourne.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where Zapateo was.
Yeah, okay. Nice little pearl.
So his first starter stats are very good. Riding a first starter, and his provincial stats at those two tracks are good. That's where he rode Zidler. Pretty sure, Zidler.
Yep.
Cranbourne, Zapateo won at Geelong.
Geelong.
So, yeah, his metro stuff's down and all that, but I reckon if you want a sweet spot, if you see Ollie fits in those criteria.
In the
bush. Well, not too far bush, but so I reckon that's his sweet spot if you want to keep playing Ollie.
And Jay Carr, did you get an autograph or anything signed, Nico?
Didn't get an autograph, but it was good to see her bring up the 100. Yeah, even no matter how much of a punter you are and you think narrative and all that, it does put a bit of a smile on your face seeing someone achieve something like she did. That was some good scenes there on track as well. Everyone got around her, and she's very good for the sport at the moment. I've never really seen it. I sort of said it on our show during the week. I've never really seen like a jockey be cheered like sort of a footy player does, or in that nature. Like you don't really see it at the races, and then you go to the races there on Saturday, and there's 3-4-year-old girls go Jamie and all that. Like it's very different to anything I've ever seen at the races.
Yeah. I remember we were talking to Terry Leighton about when the crowd did that for W Pike, and we're not used to it, but it was obviously very similar.
And
but this wasn't just drunken blokes on the drink.
Yeah, exactly. Pike is punters, punters making money out of him. This is kids, genuine fans of the sport who have no interest in the gambling or wagering side. So purely fans of the sport.
Well, that's why she's good for the sport in the broad appeal.
Speaking of fans of the sport, if you weren't tweeting about Galileo, the death of the super stallion, do you even like horse racing? DK, question for you. Are you going to tune into the Galileo funeral on Zoom?
Zoom? Yeah, I'll go to the funeral like fair income, like Galileo. Like Geez, he was a superstar stallion down here, wasn't he?
Terrible, big flop.
Are you a racing Twitter person if you didn't tweet about it? Like, seriously, with your photo with Galileo and all this, like, fair dinkum.
I think Adelaide might have been the only success story. The horse that knocked off Faulkner. I think he was the son of Galileo, wasn't he? Adelaide.
Yeah, but he come from bred in the Northern Hemisphere.
He couldn't breed one out here.
No, legless down here, legless. But didn't stop everyone just chiming in and how sad it was that Galileo had passed and putting their photos up with him. And I mean, that just shows the power of the breeding industry down here. Everyone just wants to insert themselves in a breeding story.
In a narrative. What else is going on? The week off is coming up in Victoria, July 26th. So it's only going to be from the Monday to the Friday. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, you'll come back roaring and hungry for August and that Saturday-Sunday meeting. Yeah, I think it's a great win for the jockeys. And it's a good break for, I guess, us punters. A bit of time to catch up on the databases or just not look at the punt all week and not get further back in all your tapes and things like that. But
get on top of things, have a day off, take a breath. The only time you get to take a breath is like I just found out that Bendigo's off today. So beauty, you can go home and take a breath.
Yeah,
catch up on the database, maybe do a bit of research. R&D. I'm thinking of what things can I look up today. Go back and reflect on my last 3 months. Is there anything, even the last couple of weeks? Could I have done things better? Just some time to do it. Otherwise, it's just videos, form, database, this and that. It's just every day's the same. So gives you time to take a breath. The only thing is, because unfortunately, we might be a bloody waste of time. We won't be getting a lunch, depending on how we could be in bloody lockdown for that week. So it could be a complete waste of time. But anyway,
we'll see what happens. But
the trainers are still blowing all this day. There's still people that blew. They blew about everything. It's only a trial. Like the staff, the staff don't get it. But we'll take annual leave like everyone else if you want a break. Like, seriously.
Yeah, run skeleton staff.
Run skeleton staff, yeah. Take a few days off yourself, leave your foreman to run it or something. Or the horses are still got to be walked and fed. Of course they do. That's why racing kept going in COVID anyway. Because Daniel Andrews said, because the horses still got to be looked after, so might as well keep racing going. So
you touched upon a good one with the freshen up and what to do with that. We've had a lot of people sort of slide into the DMs and ask questions about covering off more mental game. And I guess with a bit of a quiet patch in racing, maybe we can talk about that. Something that I do, and I've known and I've been betting for the last sort of 10 years. I know from a racing perspective, I've got probably 3 bad months or three months that I just don't generate a lot of winners, and then my turnover drops through the floor, and I'm happy for it to do that. And that's, for me, it's December. As soon as the good horses go away at the end of spring, I really struggle to turn a profit in December. So my stakes go right down. And then after the Brisbane Winter Carnival in Queensland, once the good horses go away, I struggle to beat all the modelers and all the professionals and blokes like you, especially in June and July. And I don't really crank back up until August. So I think knowing your strengths and your weaknesses is a big part for me, and that helps me on a losing run. Or if I'm having a bad month in July, I know that this is a pattern of my betting and the type of horses that I find. It's every year that I expect a lull or a flat spot somewhere in December, January, and then July and June. I'm pretty soft, especially down in the southern states. And my best months every year are around February, March, April, May. That's where I guess I make a lot of my money. And then when Spring Carnival, the good horses are coming back, that's when I feel. But I guess, how do you approach losing runs, and what's a little mental game tip for the punters out there? Because it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is. Interesting to say December and January. Well, it just depends on what you're doing. Your own, because everyone's different. I know you, Nick, but December and January are good for me because it's dry tracks, things like that. So we really look forward to it. Where I used to, mate, if I didn't have any family and didn't have nothing attaching me, from the post-Warrnambool Carnival to the end of July, I'll be on a beach in Thailand, ideally, and it'd be cheaper. Had been in the past cheaper than betting here, but funnily enough, this year I had a good stretch through there. So that sort of picked me up. Try and keep the legs together a bit in July and just feel things. I've had a couple of bets the last couple of weeks. One didn't participate. The other one just went like a complete skunk on Tuesday after having every possible. So you just feel like, a little bit of things turning here. We'll just keep the legs together, and then August and everything when the good horses and my bread and butter. September's not just September right through till February, March is supposed to be a good time. That's what I bet in though. I'm not thinking about Brisbane Winter Carnival. I'm thinking about young horses on the up and things like that. What keeps me going through a bad run is doing the reflections. So again today I can go back and look at the last 3 months and things like that. But you've got to. The only thing I get upset about is if I make mistakes. If you do the process and do everything the same, and variance like that horse fitted all the categories the other day. It just went shit house. Okay, can't do anything about that. Would you have to bet over again? Probably. So it's just constant reflection on what you've done, I think, and to justify. Okay, well, you can't win all the time.
No,
it's a game of up and down. No matter whether you're a trainer, jockey, owner, whatever. You go through peaks and troughs. As soon as you realise it, okay, batten down the hatches a bit, chip down a bit, pick your marks. But I just think, just constant reflection on your results is probably the best way to do it, Scoot.
And what about you, Nico? You're, I guess, a bit newer to the fraternity.
Yeah, I'm sort of not one to comment too much here, but look, I've sort of struggled the last few months. I think winter's probably a time for me where I find it really hard. The last sort of few years, I've realised that. Just with, like, you're seeing the same horses all the time. Like Scoot said, the data and the modelers, they've probably got a bit of an edge over you. Spring, I probably find is my best time. Spring Carnival, have a profile on a lot of the horses. You can sort of match them up very easily and know exactly what they're supposed to look like in the yard when they're ready to go. I find that a very profitable time of year for just the way I sort of operate. And then when the season sort of turns, early December, again, I'll probably have a little bit of a drop-off and then come back to the bigger time, say Autumn Carnival, probably goes up again. So yeah, just change of seasons and probably deep in the winter is probably where someone like me is probably essentially a yard man, a big trial watcher, probably struggles a little bit. But I do a lot of my betting in the metro. So if I was probably going to look away from doing that, and probably that might be a time now where I reflect and go, maybe I've got to focus on a bit more provincial and that kind of stuff, and maybe get your turnover up in a few more of those races. It's probably what I'm doing right now, actually, just looking and reflecting on just how I've gone sort of last 3 months.
I think that's pretty good advice, and I always find just in work and life, if I've been cracking IE for 3 or 4 months, even just a couple of days freshen up, just a weekend away, just sort of put the gun down a bit. You just don't have to keep firing in bullets. And I just remember from my bookmaking days, the guys that have fewer bets are some of the hardest to beat. So you just don't have to sit there and blaze away all day, day in, day out, just to try and get your turnover up. So we'll try and cover some more of that stuff off in the next couple of weeks. I've got a runner on Sunday that I'm keen on. Britannicus is now going over the steeples, so if the track stays in the soft range or not too heavy, I think he's a massive chance. We got Ronan Short back on, so hopefully I can get out to Pakenham on Sunday and we can have a winner with Britannicus, because he wasn't quite right in his last run at Sandown, but he's back, he's roaring. I've got the earmuffs off him, and I think he's ready to go and become a chaser.
Over on the ADs, the music for the people.
Yes.
The steeples.
So fingers crossed. So make sure you check that out. And something also caught my eye before we get to Bagman. We'll have to do Bagman first. We're sort of running out of time here. But another one that caught my eye on Twitter was Walt. He's done a bit of trumpet blowing. He's our good friend John Walter was on the bag for Aaron Pike over at the British Open, and he's pushed a couple of tweets out. And if you saw Walt in the stream for the bulldozer, he loves food. He loves the frozen grapes. He loves the cool accordion. Here he knows COVID's gone too far when you aren't allowed to go to the Mr. Whippy van. So fans and the golfers have been segregated here, but he's still he's got a sweet tooth. Old Walt. He's over at Royal St George's in England. And there's not much of a crowd there, but it looks windy and cold, but a little bit of a trumpet blowing saying, look at me, I'm at one of the golf majors.
I was just thinking, just on that, he must go right at the caddying. Like, he's obviously
he's a gun golfer. He's off about 3 or 4.
Right, okay.
He's an absolute bandit.
Yeah, that's always something I never knew. I knew he sort of liked the game, and everyone in racing, a lot of people like golf, but then it's, I'm going to the British Open to caddy for me mate. But his mate to have him on the bag at a big tournament like that, like, he must be good at the caper, know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's deadly with his irons, and I think his weakness is putting. I think he'd be an absolute freak if he could putt.
Well, a lot of head noise for a putting game, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so that's the only edge. Yeah, I've played a couple of pairs games with him, and you don't want to play Walt for cash. He's absolutely deadly.
Good on him. Like, he's got all that shit with
drama
in New South Wales, and so, okay, I'm done for 6 months. Get on the plane. So got a very supportive family. So get on the plane, go over and have some fun with Aaron. Well, not have some fun, but serious fun. And, get over there and caddy at a British Open. Good on him, mate. That's pretty. It's not a bad swing.
Bit of a hoot for Walt. So fingers crossed, Pikey can get the job done there. We're going to speak to Bagman. We're going to cover Morphettville next. We're going to have a look at Flemington this weekend with Nico, and then we'll finish up with a DK preview for Geelong, and we'll see where the early money's gone at Top Sport. We'll take a break, and if you're betting this weekend, make sure you check out puntingform.com.au. We all use it. I think $2.97 is the price for the Proform subscription. You've got rail and track bias data, jockey and trainer stats. So you hear us bang on about how good or bad Ollie's going. You can find all sorts of little pearls there. Find out where the jockeys go for their hot rides. So make sure you give puntingform.com.au a chance and check it out as soon as you can. We'll take a break and we'll talk Adelaide racing next. Welcome back to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I've got DK and Nico in studio, but It's now time to talk Adelaide with our man, Beat the Bagman, who is our Bonapelli. He's leading the Bet Doctor Brownlow. He's had a couple of lean weeks, just like the Western Bulldogs, but he's back. He's got his voice back. He's over the Delta variant or whatever it was, and he's back with us today. How are you, Bagman?
I'm back and fighting fit, Scoot. Nice to be back in the doctor's surgery, trying to dissect the form card for Morphettville Parks on the weekend. Looks like it could be a little bit of rain around, so might be looking for the wet trackers, I think, at Morphettville Parks.
Outstanding. I think you're trying to trigger a couple of the boys in studio here. You've decided to open the batting with race 1 at Morphettville here, the Barossa Fine Foods Handicap. Sounds right up our alley indeed. And the favourite here in the market for this 1,000-metre event is Lombardo, ex-Victorian horse. $1.95 favourite. Great Leveller is $6. Viduka, $8. French Rock, 9 into $8.50. Hinchpin, $9. $14 Specialism. Champagne Dreams. It sounds like a horse I'd own. $26 an Old Time Rock, similar quote. And what you want also on the $26 line there, the replay we're going to watch here is a last start win of Lombardo at the Morphettville Parks track. Take us away, Bagman, here. I think it's in the Aqua, is it?
Aquas.
It is.
In front.
It's leading in the Aquas colours there. This was over a year ago, actually. And look, absolutely made a mess of them this day. Went straight to the front and won with a leg in the air. Look, Dicko and Nico would probably be the best to explain. Lombardo, he's a Victorian galloper, lightly raced, has a lot of ability, I feel, and looked really good winning a trial just the other day. Look, if he comes back to the figures that he ran this day at the Parks, he'll win comfortably. Look, you don't come on air and start tooting your trumpet backing odds on pops. There's hardly anything to pump your chest about, but I think Kayla Crowther and Lombardo can get us off to a good start at the Parks on Saturday.
No, we're just saying we know this horse. Obviously, know him very. He was in tomorrow, but he's drawn wide at Geelong, so I'm tipping he'll go to Adelaide. So I think this horse. So he went like a dead set rocket on debut. You remember, Nico, like a dead set rocket. Then he went around at $1.30 at Werribee and got rolled, and they just sort of rode him too cute. They set outside the lead, and then they rode him back down the straight, and then that day at Adelaide they put the blinkers on him. And rode him with intent. He was $1.65. He's entitled to do what he did. But just looking at his 2 jump outs this time in, that's the way it looks like they're going to ride him, and that's the right way to ride him. There's been real intent getting him forward in his jump outs, getting him rolling. He didn't. I don't think he had the shades on in the jump out, so he'll have the shades on. So I think that's the way to ride that horse. Intent, roll forward, because he's got good talent, but he's obviously got a couple of issues as he has had 12 months off.
Yeah, I think that's probably the key to him. The soft track, like you look through his form. That was on a soft 5 that day. He ran a really good race at Flemington on a heavy 8. So obviously a horse with issues. If he can get his toe in the ground there on Saturday, that's probably crucial. I think Kayla Crowther's probably a good rider for a course like him. She's got very good hands. She came over to Victoria for a stint there, Bagman. Now, just looking at her punting form stats, her last 100, she's going 18%, profit and turnover around 17%. I would think it'd say DK, she struggled over here. Would that be fair to say when she came over?
Yeah, she's more... And Stokes wasn't going as good as he was... When, if she came over probably now, Josh Richards is going well, but he's riding for a few stables, but he's riding the apprentice for Stokes, he's going good. I think she's developed, which they can do over there, and she's, as a female rider, she's really going good over there.
Yeah, she does seem very findable. What do you reckon of her, Bagman?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there around the Phillip Stokes. Yeah, she gets the pick of the rides here in Adelaide for the Phillip Stokes team, and when Philip's up and running, Kayla's up and running as well. And as you said, she's got lovely soft hands. I really enjoy backing her on horses that are swooping. I think that's really her key. A bit like Todd Panel as well. They've got their ability just to keep their horses balanced, keep momentum up. And I know Lombardo will probably roll to the front, but hopefully she can keep Lombardo in a nice rhythm. The Parks will suit it as well. That tighter turning track, I think it can hold on for us in the first.
I don't mind that. I saw someone's Twitter handle the other day. I think it was Kartix. It's life's about momentum. You either have it or you don't, or something along those lines. I thought it was an absolute beauty. Who's the big danger here to Lombardo?
There isn't one.
There isn't one? Is it just a
No, I
M-word?
think, it's a put in, take out job, I think, pretty much to the market. The markets went up around 220 for Lombardo. It got whipped straight in. It will start odds on. Look, behind it is a very even bunch of runners. I think Lombardo will go straight to the front. And as we've talked about before at the Park circuit, coming back and wide and circling at this track is a real disadvantage. If you're going to be riding back, you want to be coming through the fence, riding for luck. Lombardo will be out the front making its own luck, and will be give them a clean set of hills, hopefully, to catch.
My apologies for questioning your authority there.
That's all right, Scoot. That's all right.
Let's have a look at Morphettville Race 2, the Irish Race Day at Morphettville. It sounds like a good time there. Jamint is the favourite here, and Kay Crowther has got the ride again, 370 into 360. Greetings, Ned, 390. Motel, 550. Dominus, 850. Tibetan, 850. Turntable, 14. Illusion, 15. And a pinch of luck. Matt Laurie's snuck one over there, $18, and you can get $20 or better. The rest, we're going to have a look at Jamint here and talk us through this one, Bagman.
This is last Saturday at Gawler. This is Jamint in the lime green, I guess, sleeves and cap bag rolling to the front. This horse in April and March of this year was going around at Port Augusta and Bordertown at double-figure prices and getting rolled. And today it's like winning like wings. So I don't know what's going on down there at the Garrett Lynch stable, but I think Kayla Crawford might be checking the brandings as they go across the line, because this is absolutely trotted in. It's won 3 of its past 4. The start prior, it won by over 3 lengths as well in an absolute canter. If it runs anywhere to near the ratings it did on Saturday, it will absolutely walk in here. 5-year-old mare's in form, is taken 40-odd starts, but Garrett Lynch has found the right recipe, and this horse is absolutely low-flying at the moment. I think it will sit just behind the leaders. Greetings, Ned, is its closest danger, who was absolutely outstanding as well last start, but we're giving him quite a bit of a head start, I feel, turning for home. Jamint will be awfully hard to catch. I think around that 350 it will start shorter on the day, and it'll be a good bet right now, I think, to get onto.
Interesting. It's third start at 1,500, and it's off the 5-day backup here.
It'll be the 7-day backup.
Oh, sorry,
it's
7-day
5 days
backup.
today,
Yeah.
7 day. Yeah. No, I mean, great example of an in-form mare. They can just go through these purple patches for a prep or a period, and she's on pace. But yeah, just what I was thinking. I looked at her form card and then just saw, she's a 5-year-old mare. She's in the zone, and we know what they can do when they're in the zone, you know. So they can't. We've just saying to Nico before, the models, the big players love a backup. They generally err on the side of they love a backup, you know.
Yeah, she's going for 4 from her last 5 on Saturday. So if she can get the result there, she'll be at that record. And like DK said, I think the big syndicates really play a lot of attention to horses on the backup, and especially on that 7-day backup as well. So mare in form, definitely can't knock her, that's for sure.
Especially horses that are going forward, and I guess that's a big difference. As Bagman's alluded to, the Morphettville Parks is more leaderish, and the normal Morphettville track is more inclined to suit the swoopers. So make sure across the card you're looking for horses that roll forward, and most of the time, DK, you like horses that push forward anyway.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And I probably paid.
It's not rocket science.
No, it's not. And I probably paid the penalty in the last week or two for not probably doing that. So they're upon reflection. Yeah.
Unless it's Prushkas and the fence is off and it's immoral.
That's it at Tachuka. Bruno Stars, God bless it. It's a couple of weeks ago now. It's quickly forgotten. You're only as good as your last winner, Scoot.
That's what Nick Tedeschi said yesterday on our sports show, and he'd be licking his wounds after Yeah, we all piled into Tommy Turbo last night.
What happened?
Oh, fuck, he had about 4 or 5 looks, and they've gone horrendous, New South Wales, and we've all done our balls on the $1.86. Tommy Turbo anytime. He only had to throw the dummy, and he just if he had to throw the dummy instead of pass it, he just in clear air. It was sick.
Beauty.
It was a rough day on the punt. Not even Fletch at Hong Kong could get us out. It was a funeral yesterday. It was no good at all. But Bagman, it looks like you're on a winner here in the first with Lombardo, and hopefully Kayla Crowther can get the Bet Doctor double up, and Jar Mint can kick home race 2. And tell you what, with it's actually a long season, so hopefully that'll extend your Bet Doctor Brownlow award. And I've just remembered I need to send you guys some beer. I'm a bit I might have to jump in the car and flee lockdown and drive that Little Birdie Lager. My old man's in Darwin, and I need him to go take it to Adelaide for me. So there's a job for Dad when he gets back home. I know he's listening to the show, so I'll put him into it. If you want to escape lockdown, Gary, you need to come and deliver this Little Birdie Lager to Eagle and Kelton. I still owe you guys. Big thanks from us here, Bagman, and good luck on the weekend.
No worries, guys. We're due for a couple of winners. Just tell your dad not to stop at the Tail and Bend service station. Could be a bit of a hot spot, I think.
Oh, dear. COVID crisis is just taking over the country. Fingers crossed we can get past it. Make sure if you're having a bet this weekend, check out topsport.com.au. They've been in the game for 30 years. Tristan's had probably a big night at the Origin, so make sure you ring him up and terrorise him today. Get a bet on for the weekend, and the Millahans will look after you there. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with Flemington next. Welcome back to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot, got DK and Nico in studio, and it's time for Nico to take us through the Flemington best or pick of the races there.
Headquarters.
I love it at Flemington. Fingers crossed Nico can be out there.
Cup day.
Spacious.
Everyone loves Flemington.
Flemington Cup.
Flemington Cup. I saw that, the Flemington Cup. Yeah.
What's that?
Time honoured, apparently. I think it was run back in the 1800s, and now they're...
Is that the 2,800 metre race?
They brought it back last year, maybe, and now they're trying to revamp it into something.
A 2,800 metre?
It's a bit of a jumper's flat, but I'm keen to bet into it, to be honest.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll take a look at race 4 first, and then we can get into Flemington Cup. The race 4 is the ATA Celebrates Women Trainers Handicap, and a bit of a shout-out. Charlotte Littlefield starting to get a couple of winners, I see. Good to see her get some good horses and some success. We've got the favourite here, Vegas Knight, drawn barrier 1, 420, Shabao, 480, Fury and $5. Pancho, I think, did Pancho win a Bondi Stakes? $7.50. One more try at $9. Tabby Run, $12. Dr. Drill, $13. Orleans Rock, $15. Salsamore, $21. Crimson Ace, $26. And hundreds or better the rest. I tell you what, feels like we're in the washing machine here. A lot of these horses just go round and round and round. But the replay we're going to call up here is Fury on Nico, second up, and you think it might be ready to peak here, third up to 2,000.
Yeah, we're in the spin cycle, aren't we, with these numbers? Look, Fury, and this is him in the Winter Championship, just looming up there in the Jerry Harvey colours. Yeah. Jerry Ryan, sorry. Green with the blue and white checks. I thought this was a good run from him. I thought his first up run was quite good. He attacked the line there, and then they rode him on speed here due to the way the race set up. They went around 10 lengths below to the 600 metres, and it was just a bit of a dash home. I thought he stuck to the line very well. He did probably have the best run in the race, but he is a bit of a pattern horse. Tends to do a lot of his better racing sort of deeper into his preparation. So third up, he had a very similar campaign sort of leading into the Easter Cup where he ran third up and ran second. He has had a while between sort of a lot of his runs. He's 6 and he hasn't had a heap of starts, so he's obviously had issues throughout his career, but he raced pretty deep into the spring. He only had 200 days off, so hopefully that residual fitness will hold him in some stead here. Gets to the 2,000 metres, which looks a tick. Gets a very soft run on the map here from barrier number 2. I think that could be the key. I'd be much happier to steam in sort of fourth up over 2,000 metres, but in saying that, this is just an opportunity where I think we just have to back him at $5 because this isn't a very strong race. Like Vegas Knight's coming out of midweek form, around that sort of grade between like Smoke and Romans. Shabao, reading articles during the week, he's $4.80. Doesn't sound like he's ready to play first up. Pancho hasn't won forever. And Furion just gets this lovely run on the map. So hopefully they don't go too fast out in front and he can just show that turn of foot like he had last start. And I think at $5, you could definitely mark him shorter if you wanted to. Vegas Knight's ever consistent. He's only won 3 races, but he's racing in great form. I just think at the prices Fury on at $5 looks an easy enough bet in a race where there's a few holes. So I was happy to back him third up. And Lindsay Smith is starting to hit some real form.
Well, that was the key when I had to look at that horse. That he's with but is his first prep with Lindsay. He just went into the Abyss last prep with Tabernig, but dead set the Abyss, like won the Warrnambool Cup, and then came back and just nothing. So it's no shock that all good on Jerry Harvey because we'll change the environment, give him to Lindsay down the beach, and he's 2 runs while they're big SPs. He's just been obviously warming up into the prep.
Despite a bunch finish, that form should hold up, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it's slow pace. If they go that slow, they're just a sprint home. It's just like a barrier trial, which is. He says stepping up in distance, I don't mind that. It's sort of sometimes with a fast run, 1600, up to 2000, they can get pulling and things like that with the change in the slower tempo. So he's coming off a moderate tempo race. I don't mind that. Lindsay will have him fit. So I just thought Lindsay's obviously got the horse going good. D. Bates is a good rider of horses over distance and everything. So
and he's rode him his last 2, so he obviously has a good affinity with the horse now.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a blank canvas this prep with Lindsay, so I just would just completely ignore what he did last prep.
Yeah, outstanding. You convinced me. I was thinking Shabao might be the fly in the ointment there, but if he's not ready,
Shabao's a talented horse. Yeah. Like he ran a huge race first up last prep over 2000.
Share in him.
I think maybe the plan with him now would be to get him up and running before a few of these. Like I assume they're going to push on to hopefully get into a Melbourne Cup like they did last year and run in the Bart Cummings and those sort of races. But he sort of had a lean sort of spring when he did that last year. He didn't have many runs going in. I'd imagine he'll have a few runs going into a preparation like that. And just reading on the racing.com during the week, didn't sound like he's fully there, ready to win. And I think the jockey booking may suggest that as well. Like Jack's riding very well at the moment, but I would imagine if they were there to win, they would have put on a more
senior,
favoured jockey.
Yep,
he's
one of the usual suspects.
First up. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's have a look at the Flemington Cup over 2800. The revamp race here. South Pacific's the favourite at Top Sport, 240 into 235. Sweet Thomas, $5.50. Royal Crown, $6. Saunter Boy, $9. Lofty Heights, $15. The Good Fight is $16. Feel the Rush is $21, and Cernan $26, and much better horses like Hakey, $41. Manola. And the replay, Nico's gone across the ditch, and we're going to have a look at the Good Fight in the Maroney purple with the white stars here, just in behind the leaders with the blinkers, getting pushed out.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of luck on this day. This is a fair few runs back now, but I think this is a key form reference for a race like this, given the winner, who is in the Humidor colours, Robusto, went on to win the Avondale Cup 2 starts after this, beating a horse called Sound, who, of course, last time we saw in Victoria, won a Zipping Classic, ran second in a Bart Cummings. I thought the Good Fight ran well here, just sort of sticking to his guns. This was over 2,500 metres. He's run some big races in New Zealand over 3,200. He's a dead set out-and-out stayer, gets the 2,800 metres here. I think that key form tie into Sound definitely puts him in this race. He's come to Australia and had a few runs here. He ran up in Sydney 2 starts ago and was wide. He was about 4 wide on a fence day there at Rose Hill. Ran around about $16. Sweet Thomas was in the same race, went around hundreds. Sweet Thomas is
now $5.50.
$5.50 here, and the Good Fight 16. Yes, Sweet Thomas has won since, but it was in a legless 200 metre race and just fell in. I think there's enough here to say that he's over the odds at $16. He's since come to Melbourne. Ben Mullen rode him last start. He was the 3rd fastest last 200 metres of that race at Caulfield, over 2,000. Now stepping out to 2,800, he's an out-and-out stayer. Any given the ground's going to help him there on Saturday. He's drawn 14. There could be every opportunity he just gets on the back of South Pacific here. In a race where, like, Saunter Boy's $9, he's a jumper. Sweet Thomas has won 1 race here in Australia at $5.50, completely legless race. Royal Crown won 2 starts ago at Werribee and since been smashed by Grand Promenade. Like, the favourite South Pacific, I think, is going to be hard to beat.
It was an arrogant win last start, wasn't it? But you're getting $3.90 to place this horse, the Good Fight. So I like that you've gone looking for an angle here, and
it should be about.
You make a lot of sense.
It'll be up to
$7.
You're right, and it'll be up to the ride. Like if Malcolm, he's had a feel of it last start, he stuck with it. So I reckon that race was a clean up for this. But if he can do what you think and get somewhere trailing Jay Carr, then that's his chance. You know, because when you're at good odds, you need things to fall your way.
Yep.
You know, and he's drawn out. He's not drawn for every possible. So you're just going to need a good ride. And Mellum's an elite rider, so you know you got that in your favour.
Yeah, he's coming off a double, I think, yesterday at Sandown. So
can just store.
Full faith in Moneybags Mellum, and I just thought he was way over the odds at $16. All the form he's shown overseas, that key time was Sound. Like last time Sound in South Pacific met, South Pacific was smashed in a Bart Cummings, started $81, and Sound ran second. Like, I just think there's enough there in that sort of tie-in through Robutso. I know you got to go back a little bit, but I just thought $16, $3.90 the place, like Scoot said. He's
Great
just
angle.
Way over the odds. I thought you could probably get him to sort of $6, $7 here, just due to the horses outside of South Pacific in this race aren't much good.
And as you said, there's a bit of junk in this market, and there's some chinks in it. And he'd be crazy not to throw that in your quaddie numbers.
So it makes me feel old talking about Mellum. Many years ago, he rode a winner for me when he was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And he was the inform kid at the time. We bought a leading horse. He'd won at Swan Hill, this horse, Ash the Toff. Bring it to Sandown. So do we get to ride it? I said, get B Mellum. Because he's the informed kid, 3 kilos. Booked him 10 days out, we did. I made sure, get him, just lock him in now. Got it home, God bless him. Led just kept running. Took him out, he was a little 17-year-old kid or something, took him out for dinner that night. And everything.
DK.
Times have changed, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I think he likes to play up a bit, doesn't he? He likes to have a couple of drinks.
He's got some kids and things now, but he doesn't. He liked a good time, B Mellum, for sure.
We used to see him at Nobu a fair bit with Zara. He loves
Yeah,
getting
loves
in and
that.
around
That's
Crown.
his
He's one
mate,
of those Crown jockey crew.
They parked there Cup Week. So
Yeah.
they'll
Love
get
it.
their rooms at Crown for Cup Week and just away from the family, just button down and it's at their best. But they, a few other reasons, probably like to get out and about as well.
Outstanding. So Furion for Nico in race 4 and then in race 8, the good fight. But he does concede that South Pacific will be hard to beat. So hopefully there's some insight there. Make sure this weekend you give puntingform.com.au a try. They got the benchmark system there, so 200-metre increments. They've got it for Australia, Hong Kong and Singapore. So you can get the lot at puntingform.com.au. We'll take a quick break. DK's going to have a look at one at Geelong and then we'll go through the Top Sport Big Bets. Welcome back to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot. We've got DK and Nico, and it's time for DK Out Wide. They love it. They love this.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Every time we don't have a DK Out Wide, they say I get fan mail. Why don't you just give them a segment every week? Got to save something up the sleeve.
Got to say, that's right. Get loose lips, give up everything, but that's all right. We'll want to help out the punters if we can. So
Friday, Geelong Bank Builder. We're going to have a look at race 4 odds, courtesy of topsport.com.au. It's the Hollard Commercial Insurance Maiden Plate. Beauty, this one. We got Mr. Brightside from Gate 14, Willow on, $1.95 to $1.85. Kiss me if you can, $6. Marquise, $8. Don't forget Dad at $10. Made to be Broken, $11. Chelsea Toff, $15. $17 for Cemented, and Baron of Bedford, $20. We're going to have a look at 2 replays. We're going to go to New Zealand first and have a look at Mr. Brightside pre-Hayes days, and in the blue and white here.
Blue and white with the white pom-pom there and behind him. So this was his first start at the races, and he's got a brow band or something on there, gets a bump, tries to get clear here. This is not even the start of it. He's waiting, trying to, I'll take that gap there, and then he just gets poleaxed. Have a look at that.
Yucky.
Nowhere to go, just goes line, hard held, basically, just get him through there. So that was spotted by some judges back in Australia, and they purchased him. Hey, geez, I spotted him at the jump outs, actually. I said, who's this horse at the Flemington jump outs? He jumped out like a rocket. And
here he's in the Hayes colours.
In the Hayes colours here. Jay Allen did give him a very good ride, produced him at the right time, but he's got 2 very fit horses in front of him, particularly in D Lane's on Too Much to Bear. He's a nice horse. Accelerates there. Just D Lane just lifted the second, or the Waller horse, and it was third up. Mr. Brightside was first up here. So he just peaked on his run a bit, but still ran good sections. Kept coming at the other horse. Now that I had that race rating really well. Kiss Me If You Can, who's in this race who's the leader again, who's in this race on Friday. It's a very solid on pacer, runs good figures, solid figures. They ran good time. So he's got the added fitness benefit out of that. And so he was first up. The only reason he really got beat there was because he was first up and he just peaked on his run. So he comes into this race on Friday, second up, with the added fitness benefit. Jay Allen, I don't know, Jay Allen must be on a break or something, having a little freshen up or something like that. But he gets an elite rider in Craig Williams.
He's
goes
suspended,
on.
actually, from memory.
Oh, suspended, is he?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, Craig Williams goes on, so he's obviously spotted it and said that's a nice horse.
Marquise, Oliver, Cummings, Geelong.
Yeah, it was. It's a quiz. The jury's out on that horse. He was 460 to 260 on debut and was one paced and disappointing. Ollie said it needs further. They throw the blinkers on it. It's just you have to see it again. That horse, you couldn't back it with any confidence. Second start. Kiss Me If You Can, just to win its right race. It's flying, but I mean, Mr. Brightside had less fitness on it there and beat it home 2 links. So you'd think he's going to beat it home again. The query runner was the horse who unfortunately didn't run at Murtara on Monday when DK out wide sent it out.
Made to be broken.
Was one of these paddy horses who I really like the trials, and I've tried to, I got it right with House Spouse and that. So I think I've got an eye for the Paddy Payne trialers. They scratched it there, and then now they're debuting it here. But I was happy to back it there.
Yeah, but different kettle of fish here, a bit stronger.
Mr. Brightside's a really nice horse. Mr. Brightside is a really talented horse. So this can run well. It can run well, but I don't know if it can't run a figure good enough on debut to compete with Mr. Brightside. Look, the sharpshooters knocked him off straight away because he's a really nice horse and a maiden. He's probably a Saturday horse down the track. It's a race to the bottom now. Who can shoot the tote down first? With the first markets go up, and that's what's happened there. Look, easy, but I think you can. He's got barrier 14. He's still going to need a couple of things to go right. So I think they'll still let you on him to some degree. So
$1.80 probably rock bottom at the moment then?
Yeah, $1.85. Yeah, well, not rock. Yeah, rock bottom. I mean, the market will tell you. I'll tell you what it'll depend on. It'll depend on how much money there is for the Payne first starter. Yep. Now, if Carrots and all those say this is a nice horse and they want to make it a $4 or $5 chance, okay, because Paddy said this is a good horse and it can win, then Mr. Brightside will come out to $2.30, $2.40.
Yeah.
If the Paddy Payne horse is $10,
other way,
and then this will be $1.80 hard. So it's again, you've got to feel your way with these horses, particularly with first starters. I always respect that other people
the market
know more about that horse than me. While we try and do our best to judge them and back them, we'll still let the market dictate to some degree for sure.
What about the brow band that we saw in New Zealand? You don't often see them, and it looks like a horse has had the curlers and the perm. They always make me laugh, but what's that do? Keep their head down? Or what is it meant to do, Nico? It looked bizarre to me.
Absolutely no idea.
I think they took it off him over here. He has had a few, he had the pre-race earmuffs and he had a few different things, but
what's it meant to do?
Maybe a crossover or something, but no, you don't. They're rare over here.
Very rarely seen.
And I hate the nose roll. But Peter Moody puts it on everything, and he's a good trainer. But he never put it on everything when he was training at Caulfield. But now he's at Pakenham. Every horse has got a nose roll on, so he just thinks that jockey gets them to settle.
Put their head down a bit.
But it is a big thing. What I know, especially the lightly raced horses, is having them settle. A lot of them race keen, and we see horses when they get cover of racing keen, when they don't get cover, there can be 6 lengths between their finishing positions. If they get exposed early and stop. So it's an important part of the development, particularly with maidens.
What I noted on that Bendigo replay, something I kind of look for sometimes is, he had the ears just prick back and really trying there, wasn't he? Like he was just wanting to charge the line there at Bendigo. I think that's a sign of a horse who's like mature. Usually they can have sometimes they have their ears pricked and they're going to the line and they're having a look around. He was just wanting to run down the other horse, which is a great sign if you're taking $1.80 there on Friday, because shows a good sign of maturity.
I think he's a line finder. And the only thing that stopped him there was just a bit of fitness.
Yeah.
He was first up at 1400, the other horse was third up. And D Lane, he's an elite rider, D Lane, put that Waller horse outside the lead as the fit horse, said, well, this horse is going to have to run past me. They were the two hopes. He's... And if you go back and actually have a look at his jump outs, there's a bit of, if you want to learn about jump outs and that, go and have a look at he's jumped out since, he jumped out grouse, just like a really nice horse. So.
And he even sweated up there a bit at Bendigo as well, which I kind of look at as well.
For first up,
if
he's a bit sweaty on debut as well. So.
Sweat going to the barriers and things like that. So if you see him there on Friday and he's behind the barriers and there's no sort of sweat around, that's probably a positive.
Good sign. Yeah. All right, let's have a look at some other good signs, and that'll be the Top Sport early big bets. We've got them on the screen now. Eagle Farm, we don't know much about that. No one's done the form there. Race 6, number 12, Zamzara. It's a horse that escapes my mind at the moment. $500 at $17 there. Flemington, race 4, number 3, Fury and Nico Noonan. $1,000 at $5.50.
Wish it was my bet, to be honest.
Yeah, knocked off into $5. May start shorter there. Flemington, race 5, number 13, Loana
one of
Magic.
My joints, Prushka.
Yeah, $1,000 at $5. It's taking on Zorro's Dream, I think, the favourite in that race.
Yeah, interesting race.
Zorro's Dream. Is that Zorro's Dream
Mitch
from last
Freedman.
week?
Yeah, it should have won. That was a sick beat last week. Anyway, Zorro's Dream
That's that horse.
going up to 1,200 metres though. All his form, his prep's been over 1,000, 1,100. Whereas Luana Magic race last start in the series final there over the 1,200 metres. Bit of a sticky draw potentially from barrier number 4 if he gets, trapped nearer to the rail when the outside's the place to be. But I've always had a lot of time for him.
So have I.
Won at Warwick that day.
Yeah, he's a line finder.
Yeah, he's just always shown a heap of ability.
He just finds the line, but he's a run on, bit of a run on. But yeah, I like Luana Magic. Well, it's $5, eh?
All right, there's a bet. Randwick race 4, number 8, La Chevalier, $1,000 at $4, and race 9, number 13, 8 Diamonds, $1,000 at $6. So interesting ones to take note of, but haven't got to Randwick yet. I'm struggling to find bets at Sydney at the moment. The tracks are just skew-if.
Yeah. Well,
especially Cranbourne. At Canterbury during the week. It was terrible. Yeah, yesterday.
Was it rails in run? The usual.
Yeah.
Hot rail.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah,
couldn't have a bet. No good.
Punters just following up their money. Le Chevalier been very unlucky in a few runs this prep, so imagine they're big flashing light. They're just trying to get something out of it.
The early market punters love a flashing light.
All right, so hopefully we've covered a little bit of ground there for you. Geelong, some Adelaide, some Flemington, and as we say, just take it easy if you're in a flat spot in the winter months. Spring will be around the corner, so just keep your cards close to your chest, but also do it responsibly. That's a wrap from us this week. Make sure you follow Bet Doctor on Apple, Spotify, or SoundCloud if you want to listen to us on the run. I often do that on Saturday mornings. Go back over the show and listen to why the boys like certain runners, or you can just find us at Little Birdie TV on the YouTube channel. Our new website is about to drop with the app, so stay tuned for that in the next couple of weeks. Excited to get the old push notifications, and hopefully we can get some syndicates and some punters clubs roaring throughout spring, because it's shaping as a spring that'll be interrupted with plenty of lockdown, which is a pain in the ass for everyone. But hopefully, Nico, you're on track. Make sure you check out the Mounting Yard mail packs if you want Nico stuff, and I'm tipping DK will have some out wide grouse for us over the next few days.
Yeah, today obviously I was going to have something today, but it's been washed out. Geelong. Possibly, maybe to Geelong, but then we've got Maui, and there's 2 meetings Sunday, Monday, whatever. We'll be right.
Cool. We'll see you next week.